The Arizona Wildcats just keep rolling, and man, let's talk about that game.
Welcome on in, everybody, to the AZ Wildcats podcast, coming to you live from Studio K, presented by our fine friends over at Circle K. I am Damon Fairall, and he is Kevin Thomas. We are the AZ Wildcats podcast. We are in Studio K, and we are, of course, presented by the fine folks over at Branded Bills. Head on over to brandedbills.com. Use promo code BBPHNX and get 15% off your first order. Again, that's promo code BBPHNX to get 15% off your first order. Guys, we're wearing a couple special Branded Bills lids today. Mr. Kevin Thomas is wearing one custom lid that was given to us and that we were allowed to creatively come up with ourselves. And then, of course, I am wearing our brand new canvas hat that is custom PHNX merchandise that you can find on the ALLCITY network store, Kevin. And it is brand new. It is in the flesh, and I am excited to sport it in its, all its glory on the AZ Wildcats postgame show tonight. Arizona gets the job done, 96-62 against Abilene Christian. Never in doubt. Not sure anyone was really worried. And, it was not exactly the most interesting of games, Kevin, but we still got a postgame show to do. We still got a lot to talk about in this one. And we are, in fact, undefeated and still the number one team in the country. So, things are rolling over here.
Things are definitely rolling. And like you said, yeah, that was a good old-fashioned ass whooping that Arizona just unleashed on Abilene Christian. And thanks for coming out, Abilene Christian. Shout out to them. They're not going to be a bad team out there in the WAC this year. They're 7-4 now with a loss to the number one team in the country. Good for them in that sense that they get some experience at that high level, and hopefully it translates for them into the WAC. Now, on the Arizona side of things, Damon, can we just start with what I feel like everybody's mind is probably on right now? Sidi Gueye, man. Sidi Gueye takeover at the end of this game. I was tweeting before the game, like, man, I would love 15 minutes of Evan Nelson tonight in this one, just as a, indicator that this game went incredibly well for the Arizona Wildcats. He got 6 minutes in this one, but Sidi Gueye, however, was really the star of the bench mob that came in at the end. 9 minutes, 4 points. I believe he finished with 3 blocks. Let me double check. I don't want to short him if he had any more. Yeah, 3 blocks and a steal. So that's 4 stocks for Sidi Gueye. And he had probably some of the more fun plays in this game, just swatting dudes left and right, running down on the other end for a dunk or two. That was fun, Damon. The Sidi Gueye takeover, where were you?
It really was fun, Kevin. I was sitting right next to you on the couch, and we were both losing our minds because, honestly, it came at a time where things were kind of slowing down, right? Things were kind of coming to a halt, and all of a sudden, Sidi Gueye gets put in the game for the first time in a while, and obviously we see Sidi Gueye in these blowouts, but we don't necessarily get extended runs of Sidi Gueye too often. And in this one, as you said, 9 minutes, and he showed a lot of big-time flashes, in my opinion. I mean, he really did so on the defensive end, blocking a ton of shots. Now, you could say this is coming against dudes who are nowhere near his level of athletic, but we've seen Mo Krivas even struggle at times against, smaller teams and teams that are not necessarily equipped to handle that kind of size, right? So I think it's good to see those instincts come alive, and then he was running going coast to coast, looking athletic, and it begs the question: do we have a center controversy, Kevin? Do we have
4 starting bigs?
Have 3 centers that we have to share equal minutes to?
No, but I will say this though: Tommy Lloyd has been pretty open about the idea of not really caring what Sidi Gueye looks like. Obviously, I'm saying that tongue in cheek there, but he's just not judging too heavily into November, December. He wants to see if Sidi Gueye is going to be ready in like January, February to play some contributing minutes like he did tonight. 9 minutes off the bench, nothing too crazy, but maybe he can give Mo a rest if he needs a little bit of extra punch in the second half. And I think that is kind of what we can maybe expect Sidi Gueye to get worked up into. I wouldn't expect his role to be too crazy, but hell, if you can translate, I don't know, 75% of what he did against Abilene Christian to anybody in the top 25 level, yeah, you're gonna need to give him some more clock. But as of right now, let me see him do it against like San Diego State. To be honest, if Arizona gets out to a big lead in that San Diego State game, which they might do, maybe throw Sidi Gueye in there for like 5-10 minutes. See what he can do against a team that is on that fringe of top 25 talent, top 25 coaching and such. So that would be interesting. If Arizona gets up big in that San Diego State game and Sidi Gueye gets like a block or two and maybe 4 points like he did tonight, yeah, maybe we can have that conversation. But overall, I'm not trying to read too much into it beyond just enjoying the moment that was very fun of Sidi Gueye's takeover.
Yeah, I think that's a fair evaluation, right? Like San Diego State isn't exactly anywhere close to the best team Arizona has played this season, but yeah, that would be the type of game where maybe if he could show some flashes there, you can trust him a little bit more fully going into Big 12 play. But yeah, truly, I mean, I think Sidi Gueye was always going to be a project player and never was expected to really make an impact in 2025-26. But it's good to see these flashes in, before next year, right? And to maybe, be able to put a little bit more stock into Sidi Gueye's, bucket, if you will, going into next season. But at the same time, like, what if you're in a situation in Big 12 play where you start to get in some foul trouble? I mean, there's some raucous environments in this conference where, maybe the fans can get to the refs a little bit. Add a Lawrence, add an Ames, add a Manhattan, where these fan bases really, get into the control of the game. And, maybe Tobe Awaka does have 3 first half fouls. And all of a sudden, who's the de facto backup big? I mean, maybe it's Koa Peat in a small ball sense, and that's truly the methodology that Tommy Lloyd would go by, right? But maybe there is some sort of, avenue for a Sidi Gueye to earn some of that playing time and get some of that run if people are in foul trouble. I think that's the big if there.
That is a good if there. If people are in foul trouble, maybe Sidi Gueye is good enough to step up and help you and give you some aid there. I want to throw something your way that I saw out there on the Twitter streets. People were saying, and by people, I mean one person in my replies, but there was a person in my replies that said he kind of reminds him a little bit of Koloko, but maybe a little bit more like raw talenty in some ways. And I don't know. I was really high on Koloko, like when he was on campus at Arizona. So I'm not really ready to go that far yet. Like I was like Koloko. I feel like you saw, that is a guy where if you can shine him up, polish him up, get him trained up a little bit, he's an NBA guy. And it didn't really like work out that way for him. There were some other contextual reasons as to why, but
I mean, he played in the NBA for 5 years.
No, so. Yeah, I was mostly just saying like, he didn't turn out in the NBA the way that I at one time thought he would. But like you said, he still made it. He still collected some checks. He still got multiple game-worn jerseys to show off in his house if he wanted to. He's an NBA guy, just like Caleb Love. But so I'm not really ready to go there with Sidi Gueye yet, but he definitely showed some really, really fun flashes tonight for certain.
Yeah, and I think the number one thing with Koloko, and it's an interesting comparison. Like when Koloko got minutes, you saw the flashes come in the form of blocking shots a lot of the time, right? Especially early on, before he had the offensive side of his game more fleshed out. And that was primarily what we saw from Sidi Gueye tonight. I mean, Sidi Gueye was extremely aggressive, I feel like, when he got that ball in transition or when he got the ball under the basket. But really, the number one thing, I mean, those 3 blocks, like those stood out, right? And they looked, they passed the eye test as well. Maybe that is, kind of the development track that we should be looking forward to here. And who better of a coach than Tommy Lloyd to kind of, pass you along that development track. But as Burries Muse says, he is the player of the game. He's my player of the game.
He was our player of the game in spirit, in theory, Damon, and we can get into that a little bit more later on this pod as we still have our by the numbers to get into. We still have our king of the court to get into.
We got a lot
Saul,
to get into.
We do. And Saul Bookman live from the McKale Center floor. So stay tuned. Leave a like. Drink your water. Bear down. It's the AZ Wildcats pod. And if you or someone you know, Damon, is in the market for some tequila, there is no better company to support than our friends over at Three Amigos. Now, the thing about Three Amigos, Damon, is that is a family. That is a family company over there, founded in 1939 and crafted in Mexico with 100% Blue Weber agave. It is the real deal stuff. That Ramona's Reserve, you've seen us drink it multiple times to the effect of, I am looking at 2 empty bottles of Ramona's Reserve. Is that
we finished the second one?
Yeah.
Oh,
is that 3? I don't know. We're looking at multiple empty bottles of Ramona's Reserve
smooth.
over there.
It's smooth. Can you blame it?
It's spiced, and it's, what's the other one? Sweet, smooth, and it's spiced. Three Amigos.
It is really
tequila.
all 3 of those things.
It is incredible. What makes Three Amigos different, though, besides the Ramona's Reserve? That is easy to tell you. It's the agave. They farm it themselves. No more outsourcing needed when you go to Three Amigos. They create a true farm-to-glass tequila. You always hear farm-to-table with, like, tomatoes and zucchini and stuff. What about your tequila? Farm-to-shot glass with our friends over at Three Amigos. And if you want to get in on this tonight, right now, maybe Total Wine's closed. Maybe something else is closed. You know what's not closed? Circle K, where you can get Three Amigos Blanco. So this season, tailgate, toast, and celebrate with the Valley's favorite tequila, Three Amigos.
Shout out our friends over at Three Amigos Tequila. And also, I got to tell you guys about the perfect last-minute gift lifesaver, Kevin, because if you're like me, you're procrastinating on this shopping for Christmas, right? Kevin, you told me earlier tonight, that you don't have anything.
I don't have
for your Christmas shopping.
I don't got a clue.
You don't got a clue.
Can you maybe help me?
Yeah, I can help you actually, because there is the perfect last-minute gift for someone special in your life. It is an Aura frame. Guys, I ordered mine just a couple of days ago, and it took, I'm not joking about this, 2 days to show up at my doorstep.
That's crazy.
That's how fast it showed up. It is just a great gift because it's so versatile, right? I mean, who doesn't love pictures? Who doesn't love looking at memories that they had, great times in their life? Aura Frames allows you to do just that in a rotational style. It's a digital uploading picture frame, Kevin, that constantly rotates pictures, and it's really cool how it works. You can preload them yourself so that it's ready to go when you hand this frame out, or you can just give it in the box and you can allow the person that you give the gift to upload those pictures themselves. But it is really just a great gift. It's such a good gift for maybe a mom, a grandmother, a grandparent, maybe a significant other in your life, people that want to look at those cherished memories that you had with them.
A coworker?
Right? Of course.
I was saying I was going to get Totri and Eric in case you forgot, photo album and an Aura frame of all the greatest hits and highlights of the Arizona Wildcats football team this year.
That's so special and so sweet of you, Kevin. They open it up, and what's that? Traden Stukes mossing their receiver.
Their greatest memories.
45 yards downfield. I mean, just such a sweet gift to give to that special person in your life, like Anthony Totri and Eric Ruby. And for a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter. That's a pretty big deal. By using promo code PHNX at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code PHNX. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell out fast. So order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. That is PHNX at checkout for $35 off with code PHNX.
And we're not going to keep this guy waiting any longer because he had to stay through an Abilene Christian game, and that is not necessarily a punishment. But I know he needs to get home, and that is one Saul Bookman. How are we doing tonight, Saul? We have people in the chat saying that the energy was non-existent, but it was a fun game nevertheless. Do you share that sentiment?
I mean, I always feel like the lighting in here is so bad that I look way grayer than normal, which is awesome. I mean, I
gotta get one of those Brayden Burries, Saul.
I think, I think this game. Listen, it's Abilene Christian. What do you want? Nobody was enthused. It was just checking off a box. That's all it is. I apologize for the sound. Somebody forgot their AirPods, and so we're raw dogging the audio tonight. So that's what we're
Sounds
doing.
pretty good, actually. I'm not
Okay.
even
Yeah, it does
joking.
sound good.
It sounds
Well,
pretty
that's good.
crisp. And I'll tell you what, Saul, if it makes you feel any better, give me about like 2 years. If it's this same crew doing Wildcats basketball post games, I'll outgray you. I'm pretty confident in that. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get pretty close. It's gonna be a fast transition. Shout
I
out my
tell you
dad.
what. I tell you what. My last year at All City is where a lot of this has come from.
He's got the Obama going on. Is that what I'm hearing?
man.
Those damn
Rough.
PHLY folks, man.
Oh man, it was it's been a year, folks. I'm glad it's almost over.
Well, Saul, I guess let's start it off here. The question that is everybody is wondering, everybody is talking about, is Sidi Gueye the future of this program?
I listen. The guys were pumped up for him. You know what? You can never say never about a guy's opportunity, right? Last year, we didn't think Henry Vasar was going to do what he did and get the minutes that he got, but because of injury and because how things unfolded, he got a lot of opportunities and he made the best of it. There's these guys. I asked Jaden Bradley and Brayden Burries in the post game about that fact. Like, what does it mean to see Sidi Gueye in there? And also, like, based off of last year for Jaden specifically, how good is it to see him get some minutes and get some run? And he admitted, he's like, listen, this guy does this in practice every day, blocking shots and trying to dunk on people. Like, he brings a lot of energy, plays with enthusiasm, and it was good to see him get some minutes because you just never know what things, how things could unfold down the road.
It really makes so much sense as to why Jaden Bradley is so acrobatic with his layups. The guys he has to go up against in practice all the time, you know what I mean? Like having to try to get around Mo Krivas, have to try to get around Tobe Awaka, have to try to get around Koa Peat when you go downhill. And then you get back to the bench, you got Sidi Gueye, and it's just like, what do you do if you're a guard? And it really helps this team, I feel like, be that much more prepared when we're talking about some of the lesser talked about guys on this team. Sidi Gueye is definitely one of them. But tonight is one of those nights where you see like the talent that Tommy Lloyd saw in him to bring him to Arizona. And there was a comparison that I saw. Someone threw it at me on Twitter. I threw it at Damon on the show, and now I will throw it to you, Saul. They were comparing what they saw in Sidi Gueye to what they saw in one Christian Koloko. And now I think me and Damon were on the same page of we're not really quite ready yet to give that type of a comparison for Sidi Gueye, but we did think there was some sort of a nugget of interest there. What do you think about that comparison?
I mean, I get it. I honestly would compare him to Henry Vasar. Because Henry came in very raw, skinny, not strong, look like the type of dude that if the wind blew right, his legs would snap, that kind of thing. And that's what Sidi Gueye feels like to me. But like, they have instincts. They can build on those instincts. I get the Christian Koloko aspect because of the shot blocking propensity. But I really do think Sidi Gueye is a little bit more versatile offensively than Christian Koloko was, and we'll bear that out as time goes on, especially once he gets into the strength program, like really hardcore, gets those legs under him, that size that you need to play in the Big 12. So like that's kind of where I would go. I would compare him directly to what we just lost last year in Henry Vasar. He's got skills. You can see that he's got skills. He needs some more development. He needs some more time. He's going to get that opportunity at some point, and he's going to be a very Gonzaga-esque type of development player because that's what Tommy Lloyd knows. That's what he does. He brings in guys that can contribute immediately while stashing away guys that can develop and build into the next year or two. And then once they're ready, he puts them in the lineup, and it's as if you just got another guy off the transfer portal, all over again. And that's the beauty of what Tommy Lloyd's doing. That's why the whole Bryce James thing never made any sense either. Like, Bryce James is a development project, and if he stays the course, doesn't get impatient and transfer away, he's going to find himself in a very, very good position being part of a national brand, as we've seen others do.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. One Brayden Burries, Saul, is certainly picking up his game as of recently. Had probably his best game in an Arizona uniform last outing against Alabama. Tonight, followed it up with 20 points again, 9 of 11 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steals. And just really, he's been so reliable in the last like 5 games or so, especially from a point scoring perspective. What did you see from Brayden Burries tonight, and just how confident does he look out there?
Smooth, just trying to play within himself. I think he's really gotten his confidence up. He's really playing at a high level. And, he says he feels like he's a lot more in rhythm. He's just letting the game come to him. And, it helps. Listen, guys, it helps a lot that Arizona was able to win without him, contributing at a high level offensively. They just were. If they were losing those games, I think he would have put a lot more pressure on himself to rise up to the occasion and probably play, outside of his comfort zone. But he didn't have to because he could trust everybody else to get the job done. So it allowed him to kind of, ingratiate himself into the college basketball season. And now it feels like he's arrived. It feels like these last 3 games is specifically he's found his rhythm. Everything looks very, methodical. I always felt like the truly, really, really good players make everything look easy. And when, you look at that first half, you got that jumper and one, it just looked like it was just, step 1, step 2, step 3, got you, foul, bucket, easy, going to the free throw line. Like, it was just, it's a very methodical approach. I played against guys like Mike Bibby. I feel like helter-skelter in my head trying to guard a guy like Mike Bibby. Mike Bibby was just cool breeze. It's like, dude, this is why I know I'm never going to the league, because I got this guy's he's got it. I don't. So that, and that's kind of what Brayden Burries has. He just has it. He understands it. He doesn't rush it. And now it's all coming to fruition, and he's looking as smooth as you could possibly want. Also, side note, this is why I love this team. We are just after the game, and you have Dwayne Aristode putting in work after the game, getting buckets. That is Arizona basketball, baby.
Love it.
That is my guy.
I know that fires Kevin up.
That is your guy. That is your guy.
I was saying earlier, Saul, that this season has been rigged against my guy. We need to start like a recount of the season that maybe some of the shots, just the script writers, they need to up the Aristode production in the script so that I can really enjoy this season to the fullest. Because it's been a cinema so far. But if you get that Aristode character involved, now we're really cooking with some gas. But I did want to ask you about. Go ahead.
I need to temper your expectations, Kevin. Okay.
Impossible, Saul.
Dwayne Aristode is going to contribute to this team. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Next year is his year. This year,
love it.
He just needs to play his role. Needs to do his part, hit those buckets when they're there, play good defense, be a good team player. That's all that's what his role is. Next year, he takes that next step. He places the Burries and the Koa Peats of the world, because they'll probably go on, Jaden Bradley, and now he's expected to kind of carry that torch to the next group and whoever else comes in. So give it time, Kevin. Your time will come.
Look,
your time will come.
I'm not taking away his time. I'm not saying that it's like over, but I'm just saying that the script writers in this, half-hearted scenario I'm putting out there where there actually is a script, if they can give me like a little bit more Aristode scenes, this is a 10 out of 10 movie so far. That's all I'm trying to say. But yeah, no, I do ultimately agree with you that maybe I was out over my skis in the preseason, just a little bit about Dwayne Aristode in terms of his production for this season. But next season, yeah, I do agree with you. Yeah. But I wanted to ask you about Mo Krivas.
Again, just real quick. Yeah. I got here 2 hours before the game because I had nothing else to do. And so I got here 2 hours before the game. I went and walked down to No Anchovies, grabbed me a slice, walked all the way back.
What was the slice of choice?
I just went straight pepperoni. I didn't usually I go pepperoni with a jalapeno, but I opted for no heartburn during the game, so I just went straight pepperoni.
I'm a buffalo chicken at Nocho's guy personally.
Oh, okay, I got you. But when I got here, he was putting in work then, fully good sweat going, plays the game, and now he's still putting in work. I mean, you just gotta love it. Anyway, continue on.
That's why he's my guy. That's what I'm saying. But I wanted to ask you about Mo Krivas. We were talking earlier about Sidi Gueye and where he can, kind of develop a lot of things in the preseason. We were talking about with Mo Krivas. He has came out and really addressed those in his game, and he has made a lot of strides. Something that the broadcast team was talking about was his increased aggressiveness under the rim. That is something that I think you, me, Damon, many Wildcat fans in this chat kind of honestly berated him about right? If throughout the course of his time here at Arizona, right, when you're under the basket, we need you to act like you're 7'2", act like you're a big monster that you are. And he kind of has really increased his aggressiveness. Are you also noticing that? And do you think that he's really ticked up his intent under the rim?
Yeah, I do. I don't think he's, even if he travels, I think he travels with intention as opposed to guessing. And remember, we talked about his instincts earlier in the year. Talked about like he has to feel the defense and have a better awareness about who's around him. And I think he has done that more and more as the season gone along. He's kind of grown into that role. So that's been great to see. And yeah, I think now instead of just laying it up at the rim, he's trying to dunk it. He's trying to tear your arm off, which is what you need to see out of him because it's not going to get any easier. San Diego State, and then you got a couple quote unquote layups. And then baby, we go to Utah and the Big 12 season starts and we're off and running. So there's no time, to kind of rest and kind of think about what you need to improve on too much because you need to be putting that stuff into work as we speak.
Saul, I'm going to ask you to put your psychologist hat on for a second here and answer a question that is difficult to answer, but maybe you could give us something on. How does that switch happen for a guy like Mo Krivas, where he is a little hesitant against like an Embry Riddle, guys that have no business, even guarding him at all in a basketball game. And then it as you say, like it feels like every time he gets the ball now, he's seeking contact out and wants to hurt people a little bit and put them under the basket. It's awesome to watch.
Tobe Awaka, miracles.
I don't know what's being said to him behind the scenes, so that's kind of hard to confirm any of that. But what I do know is that there's only one way to go about doing this, and somebody must be telling him, like, listen, you have to be the enforcer. You can't be the enforcee. Like, if you let them dictate how things are going to go to you, you might as well go ahead and sit right here, right next to me. This is Tommy Lloyd speaking. Sit right next to me. I'll keep it nice and warm for you because you have no business playing in the Big 12. That's the way you're going to go about your business, right? You have to play strong. You have to enforce your will. When you see those opportunities, you have to play aggressive. And honestly, I think it only took the Florida game, in my opinion. Once that Florida game came, I really felt like he was able to throw bows with the big boys, feel comfortable. He played solid in that game. He's played solid in every big game we've had so far. And I don't think he's looked back. And even he might have these stumbling blocks against these small little itty bitty teams. It's irrelevant because I think now he's got that confidence back and he's saying, okay, listen, even if I stumble against, Western, whatever, State University, it's going to be all right because I know I could do it when I play against the big dogs. So just forget that bad play and move on to the next one. And I think he's done that.
I mean, I continue to be over the moon impressed with Ivan Karchenkov, Saul, because that guy, we talk about my guys draft. Damon's my guys draft. Unbelievable, it seems. But we'll leave that conversation.
My guys draft again because I forgot who we all selected.
So you got Jaden Bradley with the first pick, came back around to you, and you got, there it is.
I got Ivan Karchenkov.
I mean, look at this. Producer Kev.
That's what I'm saying.
Shout out to me. Pat on the back.
Yeah, he got Karchenkov, Kevin.
Listen, I got 3 starters, you bums. Are you kidding me?
How did I let that happen?
Are you kidding me?
How did I let you get Karchenkov? Wait.
Dude,
whoa. How did
I wiped the floor with you guys. I got the best point guard in the country. I have one of the best freshmen in the country, and I have one of the best bigs in the country. Dude, you guys got mollywopped by me. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, here's what I'll say. Your third-round pick, getting Mo Krivas on the last pick of the third round was unbelievable, Saul. It was great value, and Kevin and I have to wear that and eat that all season of, like, we undervalued Mo Krivas that much where we allowed that to happen. I, unfortunately, made the mistake of, I believe I could have gone with Anthony Del Orso instead of Evan Nelson, and then I blew it. I could have gotten Evan Nelson in the fourth round and in ADO in the third round, and I'd be loving my team right now. But I miscalculated the board a little bit, and I have to wear that. But no one beats my top 2 picks. I have the best first 2 picks in the draft. That's a fact.
Dude, you don't. No, you
yes,
don't.
I do.
No, you don't.
Tobe Awaka? Are you watching this guy, Saul?
No. Dude.
He's ripping jerseys off of bodies.
Jaden Bradley is the best point guard in the country. What are we
No,
doing?
that's first
Here?
round. I'm saying my second round pick
You
is
said
better than
first.
anyone.
You said first. You said first 2 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, like, as a whole, my first 2 picks in the combination of the 2 of them.
That's actually a great conversation though, because Saul's first 2 picks,
Saul did fry us.
Bradley and Karchenkov. Karchenkov has been a baller so far, but in the vacuum of like who has a more impressive like 2-man game, Koa Peat, Tobe Awaka in the My Guys draft, or is Jaden Bradley versus Ivan Karchenkov? I'm not saying the 2-man game on the court, but I'm saying like who's got
pull it back up one more time. Pull it
the
back
hotter
up one more time.
the tube in there. So I think it's close.
Let's just go this. Here we go. Okay, so you got Jaden Bradley, he's just gonna wax Evan Nelson. Ivan Karchenkov is, listen, that's gonna be problematic, okay, against Tobe or Koa, but he's probably gonna match up against Koa. And then you got Krivas that's gonna, neutralize Tobe Awaka. Man, we're winning this baby.
You guys are not ready for Mabil's size against Jackson Francois. If that's the matchup,
I was about to say Jackson
if that's what you want.
Jackson Francois, Mobile, and Bryce coming off the board before Sidi, who was incredible tonight, is objectively now hilarious.
It's bad.
Yeah. Also egregious.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
And the fact that we allowed Krivas to slip that far also egregious. And Kevin and I also admitted, if you roll back the tape, that we would have allowed him to slip past the 4th round as well, and that you could have picked him with your last pick, Saul. And that's how much we underrated Mo Krivas going into this season. We're sorry, Mo.
I was not a big fan of Krivas going into the season, but logic dictates you can't just let him slide off into the abyss. You just can't. Like, that's too much talent. You just let it go out the door. So
trust in Tommy.
I do have a couple notes for you guys.
Bring it on.
Okay, so first, if you guys watched in the first half, back in the Auburn game, after a free throw was made, Tommy decided, hey, let's try out this full court press. It was a 1-2-1-1, and he had Tobe Awaka at the point, and immediately Auburn scorched him for a Keyshawn Hall 3 in the corner, and I was like, don't do that shit again. This time, Koa Peat at the point, Krivas in the back, and even though at first, Abilene Christian was able to kind of find its way through it, I felt like the more and more they did it, the better and better they got, which is typically how it goes when you're trying to install a press and it's kind of new to your guys. You're not doing it every single time. And I do think that that's something that as we move forward into the season, they're going to use that in spot moments to try and listen, you might be down in the game. You might have to throw some junk at the end of the game to try and get back into it. So why not try to utilize this against a team like Abilene Christian? Second, poor Abilene Christian. I mean, damn, 9 fouls in the first 9 minutes. My guy, I forgot his name. Dude fouled out, or he got picked up 2 fouls in 13 seconds. The first 13 seconds of the game. I was like, bro, chill, okay? You guys, don't you want to play in McKale? That was kind of crazy. U of A was able to get fouls left and right because Abilene Christian was just. There was that wind thing that you stick in the ground and the arms just go crazy. That's kind of what they were. And then
or whatever it is.
There you go. Yeah. Post positioning. I'm not gonna say this too loud because Koa Peat's over here. But my guy, you got to hold the point to seal them off just a smidge longer, so that way that ball can come over the top of the defense, and then as the ball comes into your hand, you go to the rack. You can't lose your position to try and go at the ball when the ball's still right here, and homie on the defense is just like, oh, thanks, man, appreciate that. So I want to fix that up a little bit. Arizona throws some really flat lobs, which is you kind of have to. You have to get the perfect kind of angle of size and speed because you can't throw like rainbows because in the Big 12 they'll just steal that stuff. And then turnovers, sloppy game. Got to clean it up. I asked Jaden and Burries, to put their coach's cap on and be overcritical tonight. And Burries, the first thing he said was turnovers. We just played sloppy. It's like I played sloppy. We all played sloppy from time to time. We got to clean that stuff up. moving forward, obviously. And listen, sometimes it's just a natural instinct to kind of let down against a team like Abilene Christian. You know you're going to beat them. You're up by 10 in the first 2 minutes of the game. It wasn't a contest from start to finish, but you don't want to start developing bad habits in these games to kind of having a letdown because, okay, maybe that's not the case right now against Abilene Christian, but okay, you get hyped up for a Kansas or something, and then the next game maybe you got to play Central Florida knowing that they're bad. You can't have that same kind of letdown because the Central Florida could F around and beat you in that particular game out of nowhere. And then guess what? We don't want to be in that position. So, and everybody's going to be gunning. Everybody's going to be gunning for #1. And I'm interested to see how San Diego State comes out and plays. It's in Phoenix, so we know that's going to be a pro Arizona crowd. But everybody's going to gun for #1. So that first game in Utah shouldn't be Arizona by a mile. They're not that good of a team. But you just never know because now the target's on your back and you gotta show up and show out every single night. So, but these guys, I think they experienced that against Alabama. And they should be ready to go.
Yeah, target certainly on Arizona's back now, and you will be every team's Super Bowl.
One more thing, I want to test out a name. If you guys, he's over here, so maybe I thought it was Koa Peat. I'm sorry, it was Brayden Burries. I don't have my glasses on. Hashtag
You couldn't
hashtag
get
team
home,
light skin.
Saul?
Hashtag team light skin.
Wait, you got your glasses to drive home, right? Okay, good. I was like, bro, you got to get a hotel or something.
Well, I'm staying here tonight anyway.
Okay, good.
Anyway, so Brayden Burries always feels like he hits a specific shot in a game. It doesn't have to be a 3 or a layup or anything like that, but he hits a shot that just kind of gets him going. And it reminds me of a guy by the name of Vinny the Microwave Johnson back in the 80s and 90s for the Detroit Pistons, came off the bench. And I swear, as soon as he got into the game, he would hit his first bucket, and then he'd reel off 5 or 6 in a row. Brayden Burries did that tonight in the second half at a certain point. So I'm going to steal that bad boy's nickname for Vinny Johnson and give it to Brayden the Microwave Burries because I feel like he heats up in an instant and you're cooked after that.
I just is envisioning Shane Diefenbach doing his old-timey announcer voice, Saul, doing the Vinny Microwave Johnson with the 3-pointer.
Check out Vinny the Microwave Johnson dribbling up the court. Yeah.
Brayden the Microwave Burries comes down the court. He dishes to the Koa Peat. Oh my goodness, what a slam!
Perfect.
I will say we do have Brayden Burries Muse in the chat. So I feel like that is the official, you got to get the, he is Brayden Burries Muse. So is that hot or not? Brayden the Microwave Burries. But
it might not be hot.
He said he accepts.
But we need something that's can heat up in an instant kind of thing, right?
He says he
I
accepts.
accept his proposal. Let's go, baby. The microwave. I like it.
I love it, Saul. But I did, did I get to ask you about Karchenkov, or did we start talking about the My Guy stuff? Okay.
Yeah, we did, but then I deterred it. But yeah, listen, Karchenkov is a pro. He's a pro. There's nothing about his game that I dislike. I think he does everything very well. I think he's purposeful. He does everything on purpose. There we go. On purpose. There you go. There's a little sign language for you guys.
Then I think, honestly, Saul, I don't know what else I got for you. Oh, I will say this. There is some curiosity eating away at me. I don't think it's a big deal. I'm just nosy and curious in that way. What's going on with Jaden Bradley and that wrap on his hand?
What? I don't know.
Is that a KJ Lewis thing where he's hurt and playing through it? Or what is that?
I was going to ask him, and I totally forgot. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. And then also, ADO also has a wrap on his shooting wrist. He had that starting the game tonight. So I don't know what's going on. If it's just a comfort thing or whatever. Brayden's been playing with that for a while. So this isn't the first time.
It's been for all of December, maybe since mid-November as well, right? He picked it up early in this year.
Yeah. So I don't know where it happened, but yeah, I don't know. I'll find out.
All right, you're on the case.
Well, Saul Bookman will of course be back on this exact podcast, doing a post-game show on Saturday for San Diego State versus Arizona. Filling in for me, of course. I'll be out. I will be attending a wedding, so we appreciate you, Saul, doing that fill-in the process in the meantime. But it's going to be a fun one, Arizona versus San Diego State. Any quick thoughts on that game and lead up to it, Saul, before your appearance back on the pod?
No, we will have a special guest with us on Saturday as well. Corey Williams. He'll be doing both of the games that day at whatever the hell that arena's called now.
The Morgue.
So then he's gonna join me on the post game show as well. I'm gonna try and join as quick as the show starts to help out Kevin. But Corey will also join us as well. So it'll be fun. It's the last really big test of the season against San Diego State. And yeah, listen, you never know. San Diego State's has been a good program for a while. They could show up, they could show out. You never know. So come with it, Arizona fans. Come with it, play hard, and get this dub and move on to bigger and better things. Also, I'm going to BYU, and I just listen. What I like to do is I like to hook up the people. Right? I paid $69. Nice. To fly round trip on Allegiant Airlines from Mesa, Arizona to Provo. I don't know if it's like one Mormon capital to another Mormon capital, and that's why I got the discount. I'm not sure, but it worked out. And so if anybody wants to go, you should really look at Allegiant Airlines out of Mesa, Arizona. You can fly out for really cheap round trip and check it out. So there you go.
Of course, follow Saul Bookman at Saul_Bookman on all social media, and the McKale Madness takeover of the AZ
Thursday.
Wildcats podcast will commence on Saturday. It sounds electric, so be there for that one.
Thursday night,
versus San
7
Diego
o'clock.
State.
Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Next episode of McKale Madness. Corey, myself, K-Dog. Let's get it.
Dang.
Can't wait for it. Going to be electric. Be there for that one. And, of course, follow Saul in the meantime. We'll be right back as we go to our second ad break here on the AZ Wildcats pod. Drink your water. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you to Saul Bookman for joining us tonight on the AZ Wildcats postgame pod. And thank you, to the husband and wife law team for helping us over here at PHNX keep the lights on with the sponsorship and helping many Valley citizens stay safe and get the rightful payment money, get the money back in their pocket for the serious injury that they've experienced, because they are specialists. Mark and Alexis Breyer are in serious injury and wrongful death litigation. Part of just the 1% of Arizona lawyers certified by the Arizona Bar to be specialized in injury and wrongful death litigation. And I talk about this all the time, but it's true. You want someone, whether it's a partner, a friend, or your lawyer, who's going to keep their promises, keep their guarantees. They're going to say, I guarantee, Damon, that I will make this thumbnail, right? I had better make that thumbnail. That's going to be a big point of contention in our friendship if I don't make that thumbnail. The husband and wife law team have some guarantees that they can make you. Some of those guarantees are that you can cancel their fee agreement at any time for any reason. You will also receive at least as much in your pocket as they receive for their fee, even if they have to reduce their attorney's fee to do so. And you have the right to trust that they, as your lawyers, will tell you both the good and the bad about your case, so that you're working with a full deck of cards once you hit trial. And if you do need to go to trial, they can do that. They're trial lawyers, experienced with the courtroom, and they know their way around it. If you've had a serious injury, call the husband and wife law team first. Write this number down: 602-783-8841. That's 602-783-8841. Or visit their website at our link in the description in our show notes below.
Love our friends at the husband and wife law team. And also, let's talk about Game Time. The Game Time app is the only place to be buying tickets this basketball season, and also at the end of football season. You can head on over to gametime.co, or you can download their free app. It's the best interface in all of ticketing apps, and really Game Time is kind of a marketplace of all of the ticketing apps, Kevin. It combines all of them to offer you the best price, the consumer, and of course, some of my favorite features are showing you where that seat is before when you click on the seat, so you know exactly what to expect. the all-in price feature that shows you what those ticket fees are going to be, so you're not left scrambling when you have them in your cart and all of a sudden, what the hell, they're $30 more expensive. We love our friends at Game Time for all of those reasons. And of course, if you do not get the cheapest tickets on the Game Time app, they will refund you 110% of the difference. Head on over to gametime.co or download that free app like I said today and take the guesswork out of buying basketball tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use promo code PHNX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code PHNX for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it, Kevin?
Game time. Shout out to everybody for tapping in with us tonight on the AZ Wildcats podcast post-game edition for this Abilene Christian blowout done by the Arizona Wildcats. Damon, they remain undefeated. The Big 10-0, double digits in the win column, no digits in the loss column. So that is where we're at right now.
Got you looking for a second.
You did. Damon looked out the studio door, and I was like, who's there? Who's there? Squirrel? Was that a squirrel? But I do have a fun fact for you, Damon.
Okay.
In tonight's game, Jaden Bradley put up 10 points on 0 field goals made. He went 10 for 10 from the free throw line, 0 for 2 from the field. Jaden Bradley, he also did not score in the second half. I believe he went into, yes, that is correct. He did not score in the second half, went 0 for 1. Jaden Bradley continues to be on cruise control in the non-conference games when Arizona does not need him. Koa Peat, though, by that same token, kind of having a similar non-conference where he really steps up in these games where you need him to be high usage, high physicality, high energy. And then he kind of just goes low battery mode against teams like Abilene Christian. I'm all about it, but I think it's huge. This is really what I'm getting at. We saw this against Alabama, and that was probably the most important thing. Arizona can get it done when Jaden Bradley and Koa Peat are not on the floor, or when Jaden Bradley and Koa Peat are not having outstanding nights. So I'm very happy that this team looks like a team that can beat Abilene Christian by 34 points without huge contributions from JB and KP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, I think you think back to like how Noah Fafita approaches the wins and losses in his post-game availability, right? And how he wants his teammates to succeed in the in those wins, right? He wants those teammates to get the credit, and in the losses, he wears it himself, and he said he takes the accountability for it. Koa Peat almost takes that to the next level. He's like, no, y'all get your stat pad a little bit.
I'm going lottery anyway, baby.
Yeah,
y'all do you. Get into this first round with me.
Hey, call me when you need me, my boy. I'll be back for BYU. I'll be back for BYU. And maybe San Diego State if y'all need it. But
Koa Peat said, "Wake me up in February."
Everybody eats. Everybody eats in January. That's what Koa Peat's trying to tell everybody. What just a special young man that guy is, Kevin.
Let's talk about this, Damon, because we do have about like 10-ish minutes left in this postgame, and I know that this is something you can wax poetic about. Your appreciation for what Brayden Burries had to say as it relates to what Ernesto Esquer had to say in the chat there when he said they probably didn't run up the score. That is what Ken Pomeroy is likely going to say about Arizona in comparison. And Brayden Burries, Damon, I believe, had something to say in the postgame about Arizona being number 1 rated and still being slept on.
Yeah. So he was. I forget exactly what the question was, but his answer was something to the effect of, we still feel like we're underrated because everybody still thinks Michigan should be number 1. And maybe, that's a slight, exaggeration and an extension of the truth, right? Not everybody doesn't clearly think that Michigan should be number 1. There's plenty of people, me and Kevin included, Arizona fans, worldwide, plenty of college basketball fans even that believe Arizona should be number 1. But some of those talking heads are still, very much pushing the Michigan narrative. And Michigan is a very good team that's had an incredible start to this season, but they don't quite have the resume that Arizona has. But that they're just chomping at the bit for that first Arizona loss so that they can put Michigan number 1.
I mean, they might mess around and do it if Arizona beats a team by like 5 and Michigan beats a team by like 25. They're going to be like,
we had to.
You're going to tell me that the 25-point win is not as good as the 5-point win? Guys, come on. Put the Wolverines at 1. Let's do what we all want to do. And I do think that it's kind of insane to look at Arizona and see anything other than the number 1 team in the nation. Now, I will concede that Michigan is putting together a resume that is right there with Arizona's. It is right there. And if Arizona does slip up, there is only one team that should take that number 1 spot, and it is Michigan. So, yeah, those are, I think, right now the top 2 teams in the country, not only in terms of the AP, but in terms of the eye test as well. Iowa State getting some sniffs, they're getting their nose in the mix, doing what they can, seeing what the kitchen smells like in the top 2. But I don't know, Damon. I want to see more from Iowa State for a little bit longer before I'm really ready to put them up in that tier. They've looked the part, but can they keep it up? That is my question. I think they can. I just want to see it. But yeah, it's crazy, and I think it's very nice that Brayden Burries, like you said, came out and was like, "We see it," because the way Jaden Bradley sees everything, we know that this team is seeing everything that people are saying about them. So,
and to compound on top of that, I mean, Tommy Lloyd has kind of rebuffed all of those questions about being number 1. Like, he doesn't care, right? But it's interesting that his players are more, locked in on what the narrative is surrounding, who the number 1 team in the country should be. So, I think that obviously, he's exaggerating a little bit, and they're taking it personally with the people that are actually saying these things. But at the same time, it's good to have internal motivation. And I think all successful sports teams have this in a way. Like, the Kansas City Chiefs have the audacity to get up on their stage when they win the Super Bowl for the 3rd time in like 5 years. Kevin, and Travis Kelce will be like, "Nobody believed in this team." And you're like,
the Dodgers getting up there doing the not like us stuff.
Yeah, nobody believed in this team. Yeah, the Dodgers doing not like us. Like, yeah, no one, you're right, not like you. No one's deferring $68 million a year on the best player in baseball's contract. Like, it's I think all teams have, in a lot, especially the successful ones, have that element of like, there's nobody believing in us right now. So I don't hate to see that from a Brayden Burries perspective. And Kevin, speaking of Brayden Burries, why don't we go ahead and give out our king of the court tonight? Brayden Burries is the king of the court. 20 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, but 9 of 11 from the field. An extremely efficient ball, and just, continues to play himself into, just being a more focal point of this offense, Kevin. Not that he wasn't already, but now that it's going down, it just feels like you want him to take those shots even more so. Whereas at first it was a little bit more of like watching through your hands a little bit, being like, no, go in. And now you're like, oh, Brayden Burries is cooking, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah. And I think like what you said about, it's not like he's being, featured more in the offense. It's just going better when he's being featured now than it was when he was being featured before. And I think about his, let me look this up actually. I'm really curious to see. This is not something I really tracked to look going into this game, but I should have been doing such a thing. His turnovers per game. Has he been cleaning that up? Has he been cleaning that up?
It feels a little bit better. He had 2 tonight.
0 against Alabama in 28 minutes.
Yep.
1 against Auburn. 2 against Norfolk. 2 against Denver. All right, now we're getting back. Now we're getting back to where he was in the dark times. He was in the dark times. But once he come to the light and he played Denver, he's had 4, 5, 6 turnovers in 5 games.
Yeah, he's averaging about 1 a game.
So, I mean, I think that's a big improvement. That's kind of where I wanted to start that conversation with. I think he's also done a lot better at shooting the 3 ball. 3 for 6 against Denver. Now, he did shoot 1 for 4 against Norfolk State. And
was that the answer to Arizona's 3-point issue, if in quotes, Kevin, that they had? Like, just Brayden Burries just needed to start seeing some, fall through, and all of a sudden you were going to see the volume of threes consistently tick up a bit to a place that's a little bit more healthy?
I think so. I think it just helps a lot with a guy that has the ball in his hand that much for him to be able to make some open threes. I think it really alleviates some of the pressure, because as a fan, when you're watching these games, if let's say Karchenkov is like 1 for 3 from 3, let's say Aristode missed his first one, let's say JB made 1, but no one else is making threes. If Brayden Burries shoots that 3 open, misses it, as a fan, now you're like, oh, we just can't make threes. Karchenkov's missing, Aristode's missing, now Burries is missing. And it kind of like warps, I think, like your perception of like how necessary that 1 bucket was. Mm-hmm. And I think when Brayden Burries is making threes, when he's making his shots in general, I think it just helps the offense open up for everybody else. Because he really does present a lot of problems for a defense, even though he's a freshman. I think he does. Like, he's so physical when he wants to be. So good at getting downhill. So good at finding like the soft spots in the mid-range as well. So, yeah, I do think it helps the overall health of the offense, and that does include the 3-point line as well.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get back into this game a little bit more. So we'll round it out right after our final ad break here on the AZ Wildcats pod. Appreciate everybody for being here. Please drop a like on this video, rate and review on your favorite podcasting platform, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. We'll be right back.
You know, Damon, I've been driving a lot recently. Like I've been driving a lot, and it's a lot more than I usually do. But I'm not stressed. I'm not stressed about refilling my car. I'm not stressed about the gas prices. I'm not stressed about finding a membership program at a gas station because I have Circle K. And there are Circle Ks literally everywhere in this state of Arizona. If you are breathing air, you are within a mile of a Circle K. Now, for legal purposes, I don't know if that's true. But for certain, what I can say is true is that if you join that inner circle for free today, like me, like Damon, you get 25 cents off. That's 25 cents, $0.25. I think I'm doing my math right there. Off of your first 5 fill-ups. That's 25 cents off per gallon.
Bro just figured out why they call it a quarter.
You know, hey man, when you're in the, you know, some things matter more than others in the brain. And you know, I am a deleter of information once I do not active. Anyway, so okay, join that inner circle for free today. $0.25 off on your first 5 fill-ups. 3 cents off on every fill-up after that until you graduate into that 5 cents off per gallon class like me, like Damon. And the meal deals are awesome there. The roller food is incredible. They also have a kitchen at the Circle K's where you can get some hot food as well. They got scratchers for the Arizona Lottery. They got Three Amigos tequila. What else do you need, people? It's incredible at Circle K. So join that inner circle for free today by getting that Circle K app, downloading it. Terms and conditions do apply only at participating locations.
Kevin, I'll tell you what else we need. We need some Arizona Lottery scratchers in the mix
Ayo.
as well, because they, of course, can be found at pretty much every single Circle K location. They have an Arizona Lottery kiosk, and Arizona Lottery and Circle K are teaming up, Kevin, during the holiday season. They have a free gas for a year promotion going on here. So Arizona Lottery wants you to know that 2 Players Club members are going to win free gas for an entire year from Circle K, and all it takes is 100 Players Club points. Wow. Let me tell you how you can get those points. Head to your local Circle K, pick up a $10 lottery ticket, then enter it into the Players Club at azplayersclub.com, and you'll receive 10 points per dollar spent. That's that requisite 100 points that you need. And then you'll redeem those points for an entry into the drawing. Make sure you enter by December 31st, 2025 for your chances to win big, because when they say big, Kevin, they absolutely mean it. That is massive, massive savings there. Free gas for a year. Special stuff from our friends at Arizona Lottery. And they're also giving out $80 million in prizes during the holiday season. It's the perfect stocking stuffer. So head on over to a location to get some Arizona Lottery scratchers today. Play and gift today with our friends at Arizona Lottery. And speaking of Arizona Lottery, let's go ahead and do our love the play of the game, Kevin. And I feel like there should be some sort of like music or something.
Yeah, we need like a cha-ching, something like that maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Damon, my love the play of the game. Man, there were some good highlights in this one.
Sidi Gueye, I'm taking it. I'm calling
Go
dibs
for it.
right now.
I mean, which one?
All
Actually,
of the entire every Sidi Gueye minute that was played.
That's bogus.
The whole stretch, every block that happened was spiritual. Every coast to coast was life changing. Sidi Gueye, that was fun. At least it breathed some lifeblood into this podcast at minimum, Kevin, because it was a little bit of a snoozer of a game, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, if that ain't, you're doing the DiCaprio at the TV, being like, if that ain't Sidi Gueye. So my love the play is going to be everything that had to do with Sidi Gueye tonight.
Okay. I think my love the play of the game is going to be that oop. I believe it was from JB Smoove to Tobe Awaka. I think it was that was all done. Maybe it was Burries, but it was one of the guards to Tobe Awaka. He came flying in. I almost tweeted it, but it kind of felt like one of those like, oh, is the sky blue today kind of tweets, because I know there's like the natural path for athletes, especially in college, to become drastically more explosive and drastically stronger from year over year the more time you spend in these actual professional level strength and conditioning programs. Mm-hmm. But when you look at some guys, you think to yourself, like, a guy like Tobe Awaka must be like this close to being just maxed out on bulk, right? Like he can't get more explosive and stronger, right? but like the way he flew on that dunk, I was like, dude, I think he's getting more explosive month over month. And I don't know what, like, by the end of the year, he might catch a felony charge.
He might Shaq style break the backboard.
Like, he might on the court catch a felony because a la Knives Out third iteration, he might kill a guy in a boxing ring, so to speak. You know, he might back a guy down and it might just collapse the guy's chest cavity. You know, you don't know what could go on when Tobe Awaka gets stronger and more explosive.
It's like what football players always say, like you know, it's legal violence.
Yeah.
But Tobe Awaka takes it to the basketball court.
Totally.
And it ain't never been seen before.
Yeah.
I love it.
And that's why that's my love to play the game, because I know Tobe has some level of hops, but he really took off on that dunk. Same thing with Jaden Bradley. He really tried to put a guy through the basket tonight. But yeah, that's my love to play the game. Thank you to our friends over at Arizona Lottery.
Absolutely. Thank you to our friends at Arizona Lottery. And Arizona continues its undefeated non-conference run, improving to 10-0, beating Abilene Christian 96-62. And it was a dominating performance for the Wildcats tonight. Never in doubt, and definitely, you know, leaving us with not exactly the most interesting of topics to talk about on this post-game show tonight, Kevin.
Good.
But let's go ahead and look at these numbers before we wrap things up. And of course, these numbers are presented by our friends at Desert Financial Credit Union, Arizona's #1 credit union, as presented by Forbes. 96-62, as I said, 67% to 36% field goal percentage. That checked out on the eye test. You know, 3-point percentage, 6 for 14 to 6 for 16. I guess that was probably the closest thing there was all night. 38 to 23 in the rebounding department, and 5 blocks to 0 in the blocks department.
I should have put points in the paint on here. Arizona had 44 to Abilene Christian's 22. I mean, we don't have to spend too much time on this specific one. I mean, this was a thorough ass kicking, and that's just the way it is. I mean, in bye games, you know, bygones be bygones in bye games. You know, you just got to let it be. You're going to get your ass whooped if you're Abilene Christian because you're facing the #1 team in the country. And these numbers, presented by our friends over at DFCU, quality company, but these numbers necessarily do not tell the full story tonight because there's not really a story to be told. Arizona went in, handled business, came home to the wife and kids and said, honey, I'm home. Get ready for this weekend against San Diego State. That's just what it is. That's really just what it is. And thank you to Desert Financial Credit Union once again for those numbers. I feel like I already gave away my little nugget of the night of like, ooh, JB put up 10 without a field goal. Ooh.
Pretty crazy.
It is kind of crazy. I'm trying to find another nugget to bring to the table. But did anything else numbers-wise stand out to you, Damon, in this one?
Not really. Let's move on to talking about San Diego State real quick. I assume you're excited for the game, Kevin. First time getting to see the Cats in person this season?
Man, I'm pumped. I was talking to my girlfriend, Jonathan, about it today. I was like, look, I'm going to get to see this team in person for the first time this year. And first of all, that's a crime because Damon very benevolently offered me the opportunity to go down and do some stuff. I've been too busy to like really sit down and be like, that's the game. I'm going to make time to go down and do this thing.
Yeah.
But I'm really pumped.
It is a bit of a hassle.
You know, it's just one of those things where this is one of the things that you and I do throughout the week, right? This is my main focus here at PHNX, but I also live a life outside of PHNX in my personal life that I have to tend to, and you do as well in addition to your Diamondbacks coverage. So it's not that it's like a hassle to go to an Arizona basketball game, but it is something that Damon and I, we have to schedule it out. We have to sit down probably 2 weeks ahead and say, hey, can someone cover me on this pod? Damon, can you pick this graphic up for like, we have to sort out the behind the scenes stuff before we can go down and enjoy ourselves in McKale. So I'm incredibly pumped to be seeing this Arizona team in person for the first time. I have an inclination that they're going to be very impressive in this game against San Diego State because I mean, this is our entire Wildcat country. This state is our whole country.
Yeah, it'll be popping.
What? This state is our whole country? Anyway, you get what I'm trying to say?
I didn't even really catch it. I maybe that's just a sign of me typically just tuning you out and just, yeah, Kevin's saying some crazy, nonsensical, you know.
He's reciting a commercial again, guys. Let him be.
Honestly, yeah. If you guys really wanted to look into what was happening here at PHNX HQ3, Kevin and I were just sitting on our recliners watching this game, and every single commercial, my guy has the whole jingle recited the song.
Some dialogue potentially.
It'll be like a callback song from the 80s. He's full a cappella style singing it. I mean, Kevin is a musical genius.
I don't know like what is my problem with that, but I was saying to Damon, and it was almost like
and we
cinematic.
just got a TV in our office, by the way, so you could say things are not good in Damon land.
I told Damon, I was like, I don't know what my problem is, but every time I hear a commercial come on that I've heard before, I don't have to, but in my brain, I feel like I have to either hum or recite or quote something in the commercial or make note of it. It's not literally every commercial, but it feels like literally every commercial. And yeah, I don't know really why that happened, but I'm trying to tone it down. But it did not work out tonight. It did not work out tonight.
We regressed.
We were playing Abilene Christian, dog.
The
commercials were more interesting than the opponent we had, and that's just what it is. That's just how it goes sometimes. You're telling me I'm supposed to memorize more information about Abilene Christian than some of these random prescription drugs that they peddle on the TV?
Full singing entire prescription drug commercials, guys.
For the record, it's not like Damon is just sitting there like scowling at me. He's getting in on it too. He's laughing.
Yeah.
Maybe he's humming and singing along with some of them. It's not just me. Some of these commercials are catchy.
Like, some of them,
they're catchy sometimes.
Some of them, it's just so natural. Like, you can tell that it's not even a thought that he has in his head that he's like gonna start singing in. It's just like you hear the song and your body.
It's Pavlovian, man.
Your natural reaction is to immediately start singing along with it, and it sends me every time. But this San Diego State game should be fun, Kevin.
Yes.
You will get to see them in person. Of course, they are a step up in competition from Abilene Christian, right? They're ranked in KenPom. 47th here in KenPom. They were preseason 30th, so they've gone down a little bit. They lost in double OT to Troy, which is a bad loss, obviously.
Yeah,
Troy is 142nd. Michigan, they lost to by 40 points.
Even.
And then Baylor, they lost to by 10, and that was on a neutral site as well. Baylor, a good team, but not like a great team by any stretch of the imagination. Some things that they're good at, Kevin. They are really good at shooting the three-point ball. They are top 10 in three-point field goal percentage, which is pretty insane at 40.5%. They are 9th in the country, but they don't take a ton. They're 261st in three-point rate as compared to their overall field goals attempts. So interesting there. They give up a ton of threes as well to their opponents. So interesting mix there for an Arizona team that typically really likes to get it in the paint there. And then also they are up there in block percentage. Arizona hasn't really had a problem with that this season until the Alabama game, which was pretty odd. Just getting sent left and right, Kevin.
15-1, I think the count was.
I guess that could be something to monitor as we go into preparation for the San Diego State game. What that looks like, if San Diego State will take advantage of Arizona, maybe leaving some shots up there that are very blockable. But all in all, I mean, I think San Diego State is a team to be taken seriously, but not necessarily a team that should be scary to Arizona's unbeaten record thus far.
And if I can be honest, this early doors, I feel like this should be one of those games where Arizona puts up like 50-plus points in the paint. I know that sounds like a lot against a team that's top 50 in KenPom, but if you really look at the depth chart for San Diego State, they simply do, outside of Magoon Guath, who is one of the better defensive players in the country, they do not have any size to contend with what Arizona's bringing to the table. Right, like you do have 6'8" Jeremiah Oden, you do have 6'9" Miles Hyde, you do have 6'6" Miles Bird, but outside of that, like that's it. Your point guard 6'1", your shooting guard 6'2", your small forward 6'5", your starting power forward 6'8", and I know he ain't built like our 6'8" Tobe Awaka. That's a fact. So I do think that Arizona should be able to, over the course of this game, really separate, really pull apart the scoreboard there, and I think it's going to look like a dominant Arizona victory. I really do. Now, like you said, this is a team that you do have to take serious because they are not bad. They do play Air Force they play Air Force tomorrow night, so we'll see how that game goes, what kind of form that they're in. But I expect it to be competitive for the first, maybe half, and then Arizona pulls away. or competitive for the first like 12 minutes, and then Arizona starts to just dominate with physicality and size. That's how I could see this one going. But yeah, exciting things ahead for Arizona basketball fans. We are undefeated. Life is good. Holiday Bowl inching closer. Whoa! Red line shirt. Hopefully inching closer to your mailbox. Have you bought yours?
If you haven't bought yours, now is the time with Christmas just a mere 9 days away, guys. It's the perfect gift for the Wildcat fan in your life. And of course, it is the perfect, shirt to commemorate the 2025 Arizona football season, Kevin. Red line, turnover sword, Sparky through the sword. It's beautiful. Jeff Sims, commemorance. You couldn't draw it up any better than that. Shout out the powers that be at ALLCITY for making that shirt for us. And of course, everybody go check that out at store.allcitynetwork.com and get one for yourself.
Before we get out of here, you know what I just realized, Damon? And I did just throw the link to that shirt in the chat. So if you are so inclined to go support this podcast by copping that shirt, feel free. But how awesome, if you're Jeff Sims, is it that not only do you get immortalized in the ASU Football Hall of Fame, but you also get immortalized on the AZ Wildcats podcast turnover tee for life. Honestly, which honor is more honorable? Being in the Football Hall of Fame of ASU, or being immortalized on a T-shirt that you and I are peddling?
I don't even know how to begin to answer that question, Kevin. I'd say definitely what we got going on, right?
It has to be.
With all the scumbags and cheaters that they probably have in that ASU Hall of Fame.
It
with their
absolutely
NCAA leading level 1 infractions.
Yes.
I mean, that Hall of Fame means next to nothing, right?
Correct.
It's just dirty hands left and right. It's all you can see.
Let's get out of here on that note. I just wanted to cue you up to knock Jeff Sims down a peg or two. But yeah, buy the shirt, support the pod, bear down as always.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Of course, go buy that shirt, and we will be getting you prepped for Arizona versus San Diego State all weekend long. We also have to beat them, Kevin, just because San Diego State fans have like this weird like Napoleon complex thing where a lot of them I think share like there's a big U of A influence and ASU influence in San Diego and in Southern California. So San Diego State fans, I feel like, have this weird inferiority complex where they're like, yeah, we hate those guys. Those are our rivals. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
What's up?
It is
What's
strange.
up?
It is really strange.
So we have to win this one just so we don't get, like the 1,000 active San Diego State lunatics on Twitter all over our social media being like, we own you guys. So yeah, there's a little bit of extra motivation on the line for you. But Kevin and I will be getting you prepped all the rest of the week. Of course, we won't be live tomorrow. Tomorrow is our off day. But Thursday and Friday we'll be going live at 2 p.m. And guys, we have a big announcement. If you made it to the end of this show, I will just give you a quick sneak peek right now. Head ball coach Brent Brennan will be on the AZ Wildcats podcast on Thursday. We will be conducting an interview with Brent Brennan and then bringing it to the people at 2 p.m. So make sure that you guys are there for that. Brent Brennan at 2 p.m. on the AZ Wildcats podcast on Thursday. We cannot wait for it. We want to hear his thoughts on how the season went, getting selected for the Holiday Bowl, what this means for the program, so on and so forth. We'll talk it all with head coach Brent Brennan. And appreciate everybody for showing support along the way. And, the support that we get every day makes interviews like that possible. So please drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and rate and review on your favorite podcasting platform. You can follow me at Damon Dog. You can follow him at Kevo Posts. And you can follow us at PHNX_Wildcats on all socials except for TikTok, where we're at AZ Wildcats Pod. Kevin, anything else before we can get out of here?
No. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to all of our friends that are also Wildcat fans that come to watch this show with us.
We're gonna have to show them the shirt. Like we're gonna have to be like, Coach, I don't know what you can and can't say, but can we get a quick little design thought on what we got going on right here?
What did he say? What did he say about his bowling shoes? I feel like he's gonna call it swaggy as hell. He's gonna be like, that shirt, guys, is swaggy as hell. Damn it.
We should, White Burrito. We should get him a shirt. We can definitely work on that. But we unfortunately won't be an in-person interview, so we won't be able to just hand it off to him. Otherwise, that would be fantastic. But we'll work on that definitely. Brent Brennan does need himself a red line T-shirt. That is a fact, and we will work on that for sure. But
what size does Joe Salavea wear?
Man, do we sell that size?
We probably do, right? I'm looking at it right now. We got everything from small to 5X in that tee.
I'm thinking we're maxing it out with Big Joe.
5X?
Bro, that is the largest man I've ever seen.
It's a large dude.
That's a stretchy shirt too. So I think 5X would get the job done. You think we should just get one for every assistant on the team? Merry Christmas, guys. Happy holidays. Everyone gets a red line shirt.
I mean, yeah. I'm
special.
Down. I'm down.
Special. Appreciate everybody for watching this show. Again, follow me and Kevin and follow our podcast account as well. And we'll be back on a Thursday at 2 p.m. with an interview with head coach Brent Brennan. So be there for that. Drop a like on this video in the meantime. And we appreciate you guys so much for supporting. Until next time, peace out. Bear down.
And go Cats. We still undefeated.
We all silly like the mayor.